What's up, all cat travelers, and welcome back to another reading, guys. We are doing we're continuing the main storyline, guys. We are doing The Wanderer in the Vortex, the end of history. Yes, guys, I'm we're pumping them out. Hopefully you like it. Alright, so we are doing this quest. The recurrent space-time gem show the truth of the past. How will Nona and Aldo face these revelations? Alright. Let's see, guys. That's what we got. I'm actually excited to see where it's gonna finish. Oh, what is this? A glowing. The gem you collected seem to be completing each other's information. Oh, well, I thought it was no access, but it's this guy. If you wait a little longer, you may find out more. I see. From what I've seen so far, I can't tell why I was in that place, or why they put the prayer in me. I still don't know how I can save everyone in Coachella from the repeated destruction they're facing. Oh. If we have more clues, though, maybe we'll be back at work something out. And then we'll be able to save them. I'm sure we'll be able to progress. Let's wait a little. Obviously, guys, there's more to this quest, alright? Yeah, quest accepted. All right. It stopped glowing. Looks like it finished supplementing the information. Are you ready, Nona? I am. The place I once called home is stuck repeating the moment of its destruction even now. The only one who can help them is me, outside their current space-time. I can't stop now. Right, and we'd like to find out the mystery of when you were born. Same. What we know so far is that I was sent to Coachella from an era where we never seen before. The people from that era were trying to change history and bring someone into being. They must have something to do with me being born in that era and sent to Coachella, surely? Yeah, I assume so. They say that the destruction could be overturned. So I was thinking, what if my role is to stop the destruction of Coachella? They did say that they didn't want history to end. So the key to changing the future lies in Coachella's era, and they sent you there to turn it? Maybe if Coachella falls itself was a mistake in history, and if those people were trying to change that, then there must be something I can do to save Coachella. Yeah, if Coachella Falls created their recurrent space-time, then that must mean it's not its intended history. If I knew more about that time, I might be able to work out what they wanted to do. I know that we won't find out the answer in this. But I want to move forward, even if it's just a little. Will you come with me, Aldo? Of course! Okay then, let's watch. Clean your creeper. little creeper there, clean. Just a tiny bit. Vital sign confirmed. Initiating automatic recording. Did it work? How long has it been? Oh no. I must inform the other researcher. The coal sleep gauge has been damaged. How could this be? Then we must have no way of knowing what year is this. What was it like on the outside, Chief? I have been unable to confirm yet. However, her cold sleep should only be cancelled when the interplated war is over. We were only able to wake up because it detected the end of the ruthless blast and the plate collapsed. Whatever year we found ourselves in, we'll be in a world without war. This is the moment we at the Perma Civilization Institute has been dreaming of, to come to a future without war and prevent mankind from making the same mistake again. It is for this that we choose to abandon the era of our birth and travel through time. Unless change while we were asleep, our shelter ship should still be on the contaminated surface. First, let's check the external contamination level and use the radar to survey nearby Sky City. Once that is done, notify a city to contact and send out our signal. Yes, Chief. Thorough, though, I said not to take off our suit until we know the full situation. Once safety checks are complete, should we wake up the civilian shelter from their cold sleep? I'd love to give a good news right away to the civilians who put their fate in our hand. However, our first priority is to confirm the situation in this era. Investigate carefully. Yes. Cold sleep? I'm pretty sure they want to say like cryo sleep, but you know. Translation, I guess. Ooh. Oh, wow. Alright, I'm not gonna say this, but I'm having, we all know what this looks like, right? The only thing missing is a giant turtle with spiky back and dome cities. I'm just gonna say it out there. How could this be? The contamination analysis is complete. Our conclusion is as it follows. Surface level contamination is dozens of times more contaminated than previously. It is so severe that it would cause instant death without protection clothing. Oh. The good news is, the thick haze blocking out all heat and light has caused the toxic substance to freeze. If this substance had melted, it would have eaten into the surface, causing the very planet to collapse. Thank you for your report. Want I hear your report on the radar search again? Yes, Chief. There was no aerial radar response within the 1,000 unit search radius. No floating plate could be detected. Then, this planet. Indeed, with all this devastation and pollution, no life can survive. It has become a dead planet. No! Release from our cold sleep was dependent on the end to the blast and vibration caused by the war. When we put ourselves to sleep, it was the end of civilization. We desperate for humanity and its fight over dwelling resources. Yet I never imagined that the conflicts would only end with destruction of all life here. There is still hope. The search range of the radar wasn't wide enough to cover the whole planet. There could be a plate out there that has gone undetected, or maybe there are people out there somewhere who will have survived on the surface. Then we will set out and look for all survivor. Luckily, our shelter ship has plenty of fuel left. We will detach from the civilians' shelter and search for all possible location of human base. For the sake of every civilian still frozen, we shouldn't give up hope yet. Then let's make arrangement for immediate departure. Everyone, start your inspection. Alright, that's kind of neat. Well, that crash blade we discovered earlier, there was no sign of life detected. I had just a little luck. Were you able to find any trace of civilization? damage was so severe that it was difficult to even determine an age. The terrain has been deteriorated by a powerful force, like the whole area has been wiped out. It could have been done by a weapon far from our time. For a weapon to have evolved, so the war must have intensified significantly. If only we could find a relic that could explain what happened. Reporting in chief, our topograph survey showed that there is a huge hole ahead measuring a few thousand units in diameter. We have also detected a large amount of sediment at the bottom of the hole. We might find something there. Let's head there immediately and inspect the sediment. Such a huge crater. It could have been made by any natural force. I wonder what it's doing here. We were able to measure the contamination concentration in this sediment. It is made up of heavy pollutant, far more concentrated than on the surface. Is that so? Then perhaps this was used as a dump site to bury the substance too harmful for mankind to even leave on the surface. It does look that way. Some of the deposit include wasted fuel and weapon parts. That escalating war probably, hastened in the development of weapon and led to even more contamination. Not only did we squander the planet resources, we even drilled into its to contaminate it further. The sins of mankind are truly immeasurable. We should leave this place. Our suit won't protect us from this level of contamination outside the shelter. No, we must investigate this location. But we only have a finite amount of energy to maintain our shelter ship and suits. Whatever the risk, we must try to find something to help the future of humanity in what time we have left. We owe it the history of humanity to all those civilians who believe in a better tomorrow. Wow, this is bleak. Understood. We will prepare to investigate it at once. There should be a trace left that will show that what happened while we were frozen. Let us bring our sins to the light of day. I was not ready for something all like bleak and gloomy and sad. I never thought we'd find something like this. Oh, is it going to be Nona? Civilization on this planet advanced immeasurably while we were asleep. This relic may provide our answer to our investigation. Gather the others, researcher. Let's share the result of our investigation thus far. Using fragment of discarded record logs on airplanes that crashes from magnetic disturbance, and this relics here, we have compiled together some information, and what we have ascertained is all life on this planet was destroyed by 3 wars waged by human. The first war by proxy using the machine. Depletion of fuel led to the second, one of chemical warfare. And most unbelievable of all, the third was a space-time war in which history was repeatedly changed. A space-time war? It's all recorded in this relic. It seemed to be a space-time travel device used in the space-time war. Technology to travel back in time brought to a civilization deadlocked by countless war. By sending people to the past, they were able to destroy a military base and assassinate key figures, thus changing the course of the war. Surely that would create a paradox? Yes, it did. When the space-time war intensified, history became inconsistent and warped. strange terrain distortion and disappearance we've seen may be caused by such change in history. If it was indeed possible to go back in time, was there really no use for this technology other than as a weapon of war? Perhaps things would have been different if those interested in this prosperity of humanity had used it. However, the greater the time gap, the greater the energy required to travel back in time. His only choice was to make repeated short trips to recent time in order to save themselves. But that, as a result, history repeatedly diverged and disappeared. And the only thing that remained of it now is a future of death we find ourselves in. Humanity has made it an irreparable mistake. Indeed. However, we may have the chance to correct that mistake. What do you mean? Fortunately, the space-time travel device appeared to be undamaged. Perhaps its user vanished due to the change in history, or perhaps it was thrown out of unused for some reason. Either way, we can use it to alter things. We can change this part of the spares that humanity followed. But if we were able to change history, then this worst-case scenario we'll find ourselves in could disappear. You still want to try it anyway? I do. If our energy reserve ran out, we'll be stuck here waiting for our own demise anyway. There is an happier future for humanity. We should make it way for a version of us that lives there. You're right. Perhaps this was why we were left to this era. Let's analyze the space-time travel device and secure power for it at once. Thank you. In the space-time war, humanity only ever uses technology to destroy each other. If we can use the power of time to stop the war instead, wormhole expansion confirmed. The upstream squad is returning. The power drain is immense. It has to work this time. If not, we don't have much more to give. We've done everything we can. Hurry with the time point analysis, please. It's all we got. Right away. Oh, it's not gonna work, huh? This is... None of the sample 10 point has changed. It appears there is a corrective form in play here. Let me see. Some kind of outside will is involved here. That's the only way I can explain this. No matter how we attempt to modify time, probability, even physical laws, it always corrects back to its future. But then the record said that humanity once interact intensively with their own history. Condition may be different for us, or something may be interfering with our attempt to change history. There's something in play here, a form of temporal homeostasis. Every change results back to neutral. Does that mean we can't actually enact any lasting changes? After all that trials were done, with nothing to show for it, we may have to finally accept it. But just when we thought we'd found a way to correct the mistake of mankind's history, this planet is sick. It's infected with mankind's hubris, the hideous byproduct of our civilization. But does that mean we don't deserve even a glimpse of a hope? Is it already too late even for a glimmer? I never imagined I would see human here in the very end of history itself. Is it Phantom? Please be Phantom. Yes, it is. Wow. Who are you? I have watched over the history of this planet. Then, what are you, a god? A transcending being? Interpret it however you wish. For human, God is not a fixed concept. It varies according to individual perspective and desire. Oh, well, it doesn't matter who you are. Tell us, is this really the end of human history? Is there nothing we can do? Do you know of the laws that governs this time layer? Time layer? Think of it as one of many possibilities that exist on this planet. You are within one now. The time layers usually maintain its existence by diverging and converging when new possibility emerge. However, this time layers has suffered too many changes in history. It has to shut up these possibilities. So that's why our attempt to alter history have failed? Yes. There really is no way for us to correct humanity's mistake? That all depends on you. It does? Long ago, when this planet was almost destroyed by its two wars, humans asked for our help. They didn't want such a future. They wanted to make up for the failures in their history. You don't mean? We gave them a wisdom they sought, but the time travel technology was beyond human control. It was you who brought that technology to mankind? It was, and you have seen the consequences of that. The time we rejected all change, even we, with our power, cannot do anything about this law. However, I can provide you with an opportunity. An opportunity? Don't do it. Just once, I will open the gate to your desired era, free of all restriction. Remember, don't seek to change what has already been attempted. This will only be corrected again. Find a way to unravel the laws of homeostasis and rewrite history. If you can accomplish this, then perhaps you will be able to change this ending. What should we do, Chief? If this is humanity's last chance, bestowed upon us by a god, then we must take it. We must find a way to change its close future. Okay, so I guess Nona is a chosen one. Now, that was the future of the White Knight time layers? Way into the future, far beyond what we could even comprehend? It's hard to believe the world was so desolate. And Phantom, he appeared before the people of the future? You must be involved into this plan to change the close future somehow. If that's the case, I feel a real sense of foreboding about this. Let's keep watching. Alright. Alright. Let's keep on watching, guys. Alright, this is interesting. This is what we established so far regarding revision in history in this time layer. Record left by prehistoric human support that we were told by the white god who appeared before us. They confirm a phenomenon in which history that has been altered at a certain point was restored. The white god told us that we could go back in time only once. What can we do to change history with just one move? I learned one more thing about the law of revisiting history. I wonder what was considered to be a revision in history. What would be corrected in this time layer? And I'm looking through records of past experiments. I think I found a pattern. Really? For an altered history to be corrected, there is a condition that must be met. It occurs when the flow of life energy in each era is dramatically altered. Life energy. It was demonstrated in an experiment undertaken after the time layer's homeostasis has already begun. They went back to the past and scratched a pillar. They found that the scratch was never corrected when they returned to the future. They kept scratching at the pillar until it collapsed, killing many. All scratches of that pillar were then erased in the future. Goodness! So the time layer is monitoring life on this planet. It will act to correct any change of that? In other words, no matter how we may try to correct the past, we cannot erase a huge loss of life, such as the Third Great War, from history. No. At least in this fixed history, it would be impossible to move the flow of life energy into each era to change the fate of humanity. What is it, Chief? There's something I would like to check. Even if the ending can be changed. Have you decided an era? No, our research has shown that no matter which time we go back to, we cannot change history ourselves. However, we have thought of another way for human history to continue on forever. Oh! I have a few questions for you. First, is a time layer power to correct history infinite, or is it finite? It is not infinite. The time layer's allies' weakness to repeated alteration to make history unchanging is at last resort. Is there a limit to the corrective power of the time layer? What will happen to the time layers if the power's limit is exceeded, thus generating a contradiction? Perhaps the time layers would collapse and everything will fall to chaos. Perhaps it would disappear without a trace. I have no way of knowing. If there was such a risk, the instinct of the time layers would be to resist aggressively if it must. That's what I was hoping to hear. You have an idea? Yes, I will need your help though. Let me ask you one more thing. You're different from life forms like us. Does that mean you're outside the flow of life energy observed by the time layer? I would imagine so. Strictly speaking, I do not exist in this world. I am more like a thought than a life form. Thus, I am restricted in how I can intervene. I can't give power to the living, but I cannot exercise it. I see, then. If we're able to create a vessel and use your power to give it life, would a time layer regard it as a foreign object? A vessel brought to life by my power. Can you create such a thing? If we combine the technology of our time with the technology left behind from chemical warfare, it should be possible to, at last, create a living puppet identical in structure and nature to a human. If we can unravel the nature of your power, we can create a compatible body. How interesting! Let us put that cool culmination of human civilization to the test. Let's say you do manage to create a life form that can trick the time layer. What then? We will leave that to them. We will give them the power to break through the close future and send them to an appropriate era. Oh! We must start the experiment at once. My chosen method may well be deviated from the Institute philosophy. The others may not accept it. Still, I must do this for the last of humanity sleeping under the ice, believing in a tomorrow. In order to preserve human history, I have no choice but to follow this course. Okay, I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this at all. How could this be happening? Chief, what's going on here? What happened? Where is the project? Where is our precious child? We failed to pick it up on our runaway internal energy cascade. By the time the alert sounded, it was already. Automatic deployment of the freezing system was necessary. Cell integrity fell, resulting in a isothermic reaction. An explosion, then the child was lost. I'm glad your equipment protected you. I also see no issue with the overall life reaction process. Transport her to the medical pod. Once her eyes open, our first task will be to clean up this mess. Chief. We haven't lost anything yet. We're just returning to square one. Don't lose heart. Keep thinking, keep testing, keep praying. Until the day that our savior, our miracle child, is born. Okay. A vessel made by the last of humanity, a miracle child of Phantom's power? Could it be? Alright guys, we're gonna start right here for first part. Wow. We have a lot to unpack right now. I mean, no spoilers, but like we can probably figure it out that Nona is Phantom's child. Kind of. I was not expecting this actually, and I was not expecting this, and it's kind of cool that we went back to different time period and we tried to fix issues where we lost a bunch of life. That's kind of a neat idea that if we can stop that from happening, the time can like correct itself. I kind of like that idea. Alright guys, yeah, if you guys have more like theory guys down below, please leave a comment. I do reply to them. And also if you like what I do guys, please hit the subscribe button and like button guys. And I'm gonna leave because I have a lot to digest, man. It was a lot to unpack today. And I'll see you guys next time for part 2. See you guys later.